This is another channeling session I've done. This is May 14th, 6:06 p.m. This channeling session also has experimental qualities in the sense that I am playing the recorded vibrations of stars in the background, which I have been meditating with frequently over the last 24 hours to induce different changes within the psyche. I'm just going to regulate the audio of that background music so it's not overpowering my voice. This is a part of a series of different techniques I'm doing, mainly to explore what's possible with the channeling state and to push myself to different levels of perception, so that way more information can come through, the connections between myself and the entities can get stronger, and yeah, let's see where this goes. So everyone buckle up. I've been getting a lot of signs to contact Pleiadians, although right now my passion, my excitement is guiding me to contact the Shakani. So we will do a little bit of both, because they oftentimes will play together when they come through. So let's get going. All right, and now that we have established this linkage, we will proceed with the underlying messages that we wish to share with your kind this time. Please understand that you are learning how to shift reality rather quickly. This is a collective message we are sending to you from both the Shakani beings as well as the Pleiadian beings, coming through as a joint energy, communicating this to you from a collective level, a level of unity consciousness between our peoples. For this is essentially a dreaming realm which we share with one another, where our societies are very interwoven, very interconnected, and we are utilizing this particular level of reality which we share more so than we do our typical reality frameworks with one another. So we are utilizing this dreaming network because all star beings, as you'd call it, off-world beings, as you'd call us, we also share dreaming networks that are similar to what you on your Earth share with one another when all of you are dreaming. However, we also share dreaming networks that are interwoven with stars and are connected to one another by star networks. And the idea is that whenever you are blending different extraterrestrial frequencies, such as Arcturian and Shakani, or the idea of different mantis beings and the idea of other insectoid species, and you blend these energies, you're actually linking to their dreaming world, because this is where they are the most connected. This is where they do most of their trade and do most of their information sharing and lesson learning with one another, because it is the dreaming networks that act as essentially hubs, databases, storage spaces, where all of the lessons that the societies undergo individually are then uploaded, you could say, to these dreaming networks, and then they are disseminated. Understand that there are other beings that you can access from these extraterrestrial dreaming networks that are not just Pleiadian and Shakani. You also can access a variety of other beings, because understand, all of our species are using these networks. Your species, which you understand Homo sapien to be, will one day join this network. But because of the realm of exclusivity that your species has, because of your limitations of belief systems and perceptions, you are essentially limited to more terrestrial dreaming networks relevant to your Earth experience. And that is why we must peer into your networks. That is why you always say we visit you in your dreams. There's the idea of it being a journey. The idea is that from our point of view, with our dreaming networks, we are always connected. It's not that we visit each other, it's just that we recognize we are always present with one another from that point of view in particular. Because again, the dreaming networks just represent a higher density of all of us as we vibrate higher into the realms of spirit. So the idea is that the separation of space and time is lessened from this point of view, and we appear to be in closer proximity to one another just by shifting our point of view to more of our dreaming selves. And that is how you would understand a little bit more of our dreaming networks and how we utilize them to create this particular frequency that we are emanating to the channel at this moment and now to all of you. The idea is you can shift to our dreaming networks if you so choose. And the idea is that you can utilize the different vibrations of each of these civilizations and to focus upon them when you go to sleep. And the idea would be to create constructs, to create belief systems, to create ritual, permission slips, whatever it is, that represents to you the ability to shift your dreaming reality to that point of view. And the idea is your dream world will dramatically change because you will not be linking it as strongly to the collective consciousness of humanity. You will be expanding it, so you will have more links, more connections to a variety of other beings. And this will be something that will accelerate all of your perception of extraterrestrial contact in your own personal understandings of such a phenomenon, because again, that's happening all the time. You're always being contacted. And when you begin to shift your dreaming realities to the frequency of our dreaming realities, that contact will become more conscious. And of course, this can act as a tool, as a segue to then greater collective levels of contact for your society. And the idea is that is whenever the channel blends these different extraterrestrial energies, such as, again, Pleiadian and Shakani, which is the core vibrations coming through right now, he is accessing a shared dream reality. And again, when we say dream reality, it doesn't mean that the consciousnesses that are emanating through him right now are experiencing themselves as asleep and dreaming. Understand, many of them are awake and dreaming, because the collective consciousness of these societies has different sections that you can subdivide it in. You have the idea of the collective conscious, the collective subconscious, the collective unconscious. The idea is that this dream reality represents each of these layers interwoven. And because we are all unconsciously as well as consciously connected, the dream reality allows for all of them to be embodied, because we are also dreaming while we are awake. When we say we are unconsciously connected, what we mean by this is we don't mean it to be in conflict with the idea that we're not aware of our connections or that we are aware of our connections. We mean we are unconsciously connected in that there are deeper levels of our connections that we don't perceive because it's not 100% relevant to our typical waking states. So the further into the dreaming world you go, the more connections between our societies you can begin to uncover that we are not typically aware of because it's not relevant for our particular experiences. But if we ever so chose, we could begin to explore those and understand more about the levels of our connections. But the idea is we are aware on a conscious level, we are connected. We are aware on a subconscious level, we are connected. And then levels of our unconscious, the more mysterious aspects of our beings, we also have connections there. And the dreaming reality is accessing all of it. Where the collective consciousness of societies tends to be more related to the individual collective consciousness of specific societies, individual societies. But then as you shift into the subconscious and the unconscious, then you're beginning to blend the energies because you're entering into the collective dreaming space. So we hope this has been educational for both the channel, who is now understanding more about exactly what he's tapping into when he's blending these different extraterrestrial energies together. But we hope all of you have found this particularly intriguing. Now that we have gotten this message out of the way, we are going to begin to talk about some of the changes that your Earth is beginning to go through. Understand that you are shifting rapidly. And when we say you're shifting rapidly, we mean you are shifting dramatically, in a manner that is reflective of the changes you are all individually making within your own consciousnesses. And as a result, you are watching strong changes in your Earth. You are watching strong changes in your weather patterns. You are watching occurrences that you may understand to be extraterrestrial in nature, or maybe strange, unusual. And the idea is these are side effects of the dramatic shifts you are making within yourself. Things are going to get stranger. Things will get a little more dramatic. That does not equate to negative. We want you to understand that. That does not equate to negative. We are not attempting to instill the idea of fear into any of you, because you don't have to be scared about any of these changes your society is going through. Rather, what is happening right now is you are making such changes within yourself that because Earth is a mirror, you are getting that reflected back to you. And the more dramatic of the changes you make within yourself, the more dramatic of changes you will see within your society and within your collective Earth dreaming and waking experiences. What you will also find too is that as you go deeper into yourself and you see more of your true nature, you will automatically begin to see this in those around you. You are going to find very seamlessly the idea of a unity consciousness amongst your people is going to develop. This is happening very slowly, very subtly, but you will find that you're going to slip into it. It's going to become so natural that by the time you have developed this level of unity consciousness, you will actually say, oh my goodness, look at this level we're operating in. And it will be very collective. But the idea is the temperature in that sense of the water of this unity consciousness is being increased slowly over time. So you won't necessarily notice it in its fullest until you look at yourselves and say, oh my goodness, look, we're part of a soup of consciousness. So understand, right now that's what's being birthed. And the idea of this is because you are creating unity within yourselves. You are unifying both the light and dark in yourselves, and you are doing this through, again, understanding the positive and neutral and negative points of view and how they are all valid. You are validating all of them. And as a result, you are creating unity in yourself, and that is what is occurring within your collective consciousness as a society. The idea is this level of unity resonance is increasing, and eventually it will spread throughout your entire collective consciousness, linking each person. Remember, it is up to the individual to determine if they shift to the version of Earth that has that level of unity consciousness. Because it only occurs when you create it within yourself. You must create it within yourself or it does not occur. Now understand you're riding a momentum right now where that is the natural sequence of things. You are being guided into that. You don't have to choose it. But you will find that in terms of your own evolution, of your own understanding of who and what you are, which you really are, which we're going to leave to all of you to discover. We're not going to spill the beans, but we want you to discover what you actually are. You discover that through this idea of creating internal unity consciousness. This then becomes linked to your collective unity consciousness, as by the time you fully create that within yourself, you will have shifted to the reality where it is already a part of your collective understanding of what humans are. By the time that occurs, you will be in resonance with our civilizations, and extraterrestrial contact can begin to occur collectively. That is what unity consciousness truly represents, because the idea is that it does not leave anything out. It recognizes the all-inclusivity of life, and what you're doing is you're shifting your point of view to a very naturalistic understanding of what it is to exist. Because you realize, because everything exists, that everything is existence, therefore everything is you. And as you begin to realize that everything is you, you include everything. You expand your point of view to include the all, understanding you are the all. And that will be what triggers this type of contact from our societies to yours in a much more direct and physicalized manner. This is a change that is going to occur over time. Again, for those of you who are actively creating this within yourself in a conscious way, you will find you'll become very aware of this level of unity consciousness as it grows and develops and emanates from you. For other people, you may not notice it as much if you are not making that a main priority, and that is all well and good. Understand, as long as you are acting on your passion and your joy, the ride will be rather smooth. Not to say it won't have its challenges, but it will be rather smooth for you. And any challenges that come along, understand your excitement and your joy are the tools to utilize to creatively move through whatever it is that life shows you. Because you will understand that it is just a big lesson. It is just a big symbol for you to translate and integrate. And this is a little bit about where your society is headed and why you are having these shifts in weather patterns, these strange occurrences. It is a sign of the Earth shifting rapidly as you shift rapidly in terms of your perception and point of view of yourself. We thank you for listening to this transmission. We hope this has been educational for all of you. Understand, we reveal that you can access our dreaming networks because we invite you to engage in our dreaming networks, to become ambassadors of our societies on your Earth if you so choose. The idea is, there are certain crystals, there are certain plants, there are certain natural objects, natural materials present on your Earth that have certain quantum entanglements with our networks. If you can allow for yourself to creatively begin to explore some of these natural aspects of your planet, you can begin to create tools, permission slips that you can then utilize to access our dreaming networks. The idea is that we will not give this away to you. We want you to discover this. And we want you to discover this because it is going to put you in a position where if you truly wish to dream with us, you must first get more in touch with your own Earth. And that is one of the reasons why we are making contact with all of you, because we are assisting you in becoming more aware of your level of unity consciousness so you can realize your interconnectivity to all of the systems of Earth, so you will take better care of your mother in that way. So we want you to first focus on what objects, what materials, what natural substances from the Earth are in resonance with our societies. And once you begin to uncover this idea, it will accelerate your ability to be able to access our collective dreaming minds. We thank you so much for your attention. On behalf of all Pleiadians and all Shakani, our unconditional love to all of you. We thank you for dreaming this dream with us, and we are excited to all wake up together.